Welcome to the Biblical Story, RL 1143A in the Summer 1 term. My name is Robert Lee Foster, and I'll be your guide through this online class. This class is primarily a reading course, so the syllabus and especially your books for the course and the VCamp course are very important. So I wanted to take some time in this first video to talk to you a little bit about how that's all organized and put together. You should begin the class really by reading through the syllabus. Let's take a look at that, at this syllabus together. What I want to do is I want us to walk through the syllabus and look a little bit about how VCamp is organized. If you'll log on to VCamp and then go ahead and once you get there, select our class, RL 1143A is what it will come up in the label there on the side. And when you first come on there, you're going to see, I haven't put an announcement there, so there's no big announcement on the first page. But you'll see that I have the course divided into 5 tabs. And those tabs correspond to each week in the course, beginning June the 1st. And you'll notice that each of those weeks will end on a Sunday. Technically, I think the last day for the first semester, for Summer 1, is July the 2nd. But I don't have to turn grades in until next week. And so I might as well give you that Saturday and Sunday to finish out the course. And the way we'll talk about that a little bit more as we get into the course. But once you're here on VCamp, you can click on navigation if it's not open for you all the way, and then scroll down all the way to the bottom, and you can see here where it says syllabus, and just clap on syllabus there, or just tap on syllabus, and you're good to go. Now, sometimes VCamp doesn't do a great job of letting you see all of the syllabus. Like you can see here, it's not letting me see the second and third page. And so the best thing to really do is just to press down and hold on that and then click share. And what I do is I share it over onto Chrome. And then I go ahead and open it in Chrome. And yours might look a little bit differently. Sometimes if you double push down on it, it'll kind of do that little, hey, I got your attention sync. And then you can copy it. And then you can post it right into the browser, like right up here in the browser of whatever browser you want to use, and then you can see the whole. Then you can see the whole thing. And it probably would be a good idea to make a copy of that, an offline copy of that, or put a copy of that onto your hard drive or onto your iPad somewhere or another where you can access it without having to get access to the internet. And as you look down through here, you're going to see on page 1, I've already introduced myself. You're going to see my contact points. Email is really what I prefer, and you see my email address there. You can call me. That's my office number. Please leave a voicemail if you call so that I can check that. But we'll talk some more about email is really preferred, okay? Because I may not, I know I will not be into my office and checking my voicemail every day, or even every other day, or maybe even every third day. But I definitely will be checking email on a regular basis every couple of days. And when we have assignments coming due, I definitely will try to get on there before they're due and as they're coming due the last day or so I can see if there are questions or problems that you're having. You've already seen we've already looked at the course website. Yeah, my office hours don't really have any set office hours, but like I said, check an email on a regular basis. And I will be emailing you through your Williams email address. And so you'll need to make sure you have that. And if I contact you, that is the route that I will contact you on. So make sure you've got that going and rolling, and you should be in good shape then. Now let's talk about the more particular things on our syllabus. One of the things that we're trying to do here at Williams, this is big picture Williams stuff, is we want you to have a Christian worldview so that you can engage the world and have a better understanding of what's right and wrong biblically and how you can make some of life's most challenging decisions. And so in order to gain that worldview, you need to have some knowledge of the biblical text and how it relates to that worldview and how we use the story of the biblical text to establish that Christian worldview. So, our vision is to prepare you to be a graduate who's ready to engage local and global cultures through a Christ-centered worldview. And so this class is at the heartbeat of what we're trying to do there. The big picture of the class, or the course overview, is we're looking at a historical background and the literature of the Bible. And we're going to really focus on learning that big picture narrative all the way from creation to Revelation, from the beginning of Genesis all the way to the end of Revelation. And obviously, it's going to be condensed, not just because it's a summer class, but even in a full semester class, we're going to have to condense from there. We're going to use this class to try to accomplish several of our big picture institutional academic goals. If you're not aware of it, we have 6 institutional academic goals that we try to tie everything in that we do academically to. And those are found in the catalog. You can look those up without any trouble. In this specific class, we're going to try to hit 3 of those. And that is, the first one is to produce students who demonstrate an understanding of the Judeo-Christian heritage and Christian worldview, to produce students who demonstrate the ability to reflect critically upon the environment, society, and self, and to produce students who can apply critical thinking and analytical skills and become more effective problem solvers. Specifically in this class, I want you to be able to, by the end of the course, summarize the biblical story from the beginning to the end, be able to talk about the major themes of that. Those are creation, fall, and restoration, and we'll talk about several different aspects of restoration. And then I also want you to be able to relate that to your personal life, some of your life experiences. We're going to have 2 texts in this class. Obviously, we're going to need a Bible. Here's mine. You don't have to get one this big. This is the New Revised Standard Version, but you're welcome to read the Bible in any modern text that you want. If you don't know a good one to pick out, I would recommend the English Standard Version, or the ESV as it's called in shorthand. The easiest way to get a copy of the Bible is to get on your device, your phone or your iPad, and just search for the app that's called YouVersion, all one word, YOU version, and download that app. It's absolutely free. And then download the ESV Bible, also absolutely free, along with literally hundreds of other Bibles in dozens and dozens of different languages. So I would encourage you to do that. You could also download the NRSV, the New Revised Standard Version that I'll be using. The other book that you need to have is the Gohee and Bartholomew text. That's entitled The True Story of the World, Finding Your Place in the Biblical Drama. This book is about 176 pages, and we're going to read the whole book. All right, we're gonna read the whole book through the course, and we're gonna, I said this course is mostly reading, and so we're gonna read this book, and we're gonna read portions of the Bible. We're not gonna read the whole Bible. That'd be crazy to do in a semester, let alone in a 5-week course. So you need to have those 2 books as soon as possible, really before the class starts. So get out there and get them. Now, as you look on down on page 2 on the syllabus, I just want you to know I expect you to do everything well. I want you to, the papers that get perfect scores are going to look professional. They're going to be done error-free. They're going to show excellence in thought and organization, and then they'll get full point value. But now listen, you can have a really great grade and not have a perfect paper. And so just do your very best, and I'll try to give it an accurate grade. But don't hesitate to ask about the grading on all of the major assignments, besides on the objective questions. but on your inductive Bible studies and on your essays, I'll be using a rubric to grade those, so you can see exactly why I'm giving you that grade based on those rubrics. As I mentioned, each week basically ends on a Sunday, and so Sunday is when everything's due for that week. The essay and the exam, which are the last two elements of each of the weeks or each of the units, they're all due on Sunday nights by 11 p.m. Late assignments really will not be accepted. If you have an emergency or something horrific happens, please contact me. But waiting until Sunday night at 9:30 or 10 o'clock to doing it, and then having the power go out, we all know how that just happens weird right before things are due. Or not being able to log on or not having internet access, that's not going to be a really good excuse. So let's just do them on time, do things ahead of time as we can, and go forward from there. Now, everything from each week, the absolute deadline is that Sunday night at 11 p.m. Now, we've got some stuff we're going to do on discussion and some quizzes, and they're going to be due a little bit before that Sunday due date. But everything for the week, the final due date, is Sunday nights at 11 p.m. And that'll be all of the assignments in VCamp. As you click on them, they'll tell you when they're due, and they'll tell you when they open up. Now, sure, I could make the due date for everything the very last week of class, but that wouldn't be good for you or good for me. We have a tendency as humans to procrastinate, and so to help you procrastinate in a controlled manner, we're going to have stuff due every week. Push those deadlines through. Trust me, it'll be better. We'll be done earlier. We won't have as much built up on us. It'll be very, very nice. So when you look at VCamp on our regular page, you're going to see there are 4 things up here at the top: read, attend, discuss, and complete. And listen, I've got the syllabus set up the same way. You see here: read, attend, discuss, complete. And so we'll just we'll stay organized that way, and it'll go good. In the read section, all that's in here are your reading assignments for each week. And like I said, there's some heavy duty reading, and those are the things you should jump on very first thing on that Monday. Or, if you finish the previous week and you want to go ahead and start on your reading the week before, they'll be open for you. I've already got all of the reading assignments posted for the entire time. Even though I don't have all of the assignments, like the quizzes and the exams due for the later weeks, I have all of the reading assignments for the entire semester down. I want to encourage you to take reading notes when you read, both in the Goheen and Bartholomew text, and also in your Bible as well. You should do this first. Ideally, you'll have all your reading done by Wednesday of each week. And so start with that. The bulk of the course is reading, and learning in this course is dependent upon you reading the material. The second element is attend. Now, what we have here is, obviously, we don't attend, and we won't have any Zoom meetings, although if you need to set one up to talk to me about some personal things or some specific issues, I'll be glad to do that for you. But in the attend section, there'll be at least one lecture. There'll be at least one lecture each week. That'll be about 30 or 40 minutes in length, and I'll highlight key figures and themes in each of the 6 acts of the biblical story that we're gonna look at. Our book divides the biblical story into 6 acts. A couple of the acts have scene 1 and scene 2, and there's an interlude in the middle. We're going to work through all of those, and each week I'll have a lecture that, like I said, that will look at the key figures and themes of the act or acts that we're looking at that particular week. Each week we're going to have a discussion question or a question of the week, if you want to think of it as that. That'll be posted, and those will be posted before Monday. And what I need you to do is you need to get on there and respond to the question of the week. Those questions will come from the book. I might modify them a little bit, but they'll come from the book at the end of the chapters that deal with the sections. Like, for example, you'll see here on pages 28 and 29, there's some questions here. They're labeled Finding Our Place in the Story. We'll use some of those or some of those modified for our discussion questions. And there'll be some additional instructions, but you just log on to VCamp. Excuse me. You make sure you have the right tab for the week that we're in clicked, and then you select discuss. And there is no discussion posted there right now, but there will be. So I want you to get on and post and answer the question. And I want you to try to do that by Thursday. If you could do that by noon on Thursday, that would be a great help to you and the rest of your friends. Because after you post your answer, then I want you to look at the other students in the class's answers, and I want you to respond briefly. I'll give you exact word counts on the instructions, briefly to two other students, at least two other students requirement. You'll be given, this is graded primarily on completion. Of course, I always want to see substantive comments, and I want them to be well written, not just crappy texting language, but actual, capitals and verbs and objects and, well written grammar stuff. You'll get 10 points for your substantive answer, and then 5 points for your two responses to other students. And I'll grade those after they're posted, and that'll all be in the grade book, and that'll be going from there. Those are all due by Sunday nights at 11 p.m. But if we don't have people posting their answers by Thursday at noon, that doesn't give much time for people to respond to your answer or give you people's answers to respond to. So let's make sure that at least 3 or 4 of the discussion list, you make sure you post by noon on Thursday. If I look on there and I see that you're posting the last day every single week, I probably will try to encourage you to post a little bit earlier, and could possibly penalize you for not posting by Thursday at noon. I don't want to do that. But if you're never posting your stuff till the last day, you're not really helping the class and helping your fellow students and really doing your work. If that happens once or maybe twice, that's okay. But you should be able to post by noon on Thursday every week. But again, got to get your reading and the lecture watched first. Read and attend and then discuss. And then finally, we have the complete section. Now, in the complete section, we've got a couple of different assignments. One will be quizzes. You'll have a quiz each week. It'll be worth 10 points. Quizzes are going to be due at 11 p.m. on Friday night. And the reason that I'm doing that is the quiz questions are going to be a lot like the questions on the objective question exam that's due on Sunday. So I want to force you to the quiz, which will cover the lecture, the attend, and the readings. I want you to there'll be additional instructions on each of those quizzes, and they will be timed. You'll have a limited amount of time to do that, but plenty of time. They'll be, I don't know, it'll be worth 10 points apiece. So there'll probably be 5 2-point questions. And you'll have, at least 10 minutes to finish those. But again, those are due Friday nights by 11 p.m. Then in the second, third, and fourth week, there you will have a written assignment due called an inductive Bible study. And you have some work to do this first week to learn how to do an inductive Bible study. There is both a handout, and I don't expect you to mark your Bibles up like they do in the handout. That's just to give you an idea of how to focus, but ask all the right questions. There's also a YouTube video that I want you to watch in its entirety before you're doing your inductive Bible study, because he walks you through it and gives some examples. And between the handout and the video, which you should do both, you should have a good idea. Then you'll be given an assignment. I'll post those assignments in the course materials for that week. It'll say like Inductive Bible Study 1, passage assignments, and you'll look on there and find your name and see your assigned passage. Then you'll log on to VCamp, onto the assignment, and this will not be timed. It'll open up on Monday morning, and it'll close on Sunday night when everything else is due, and I'll use a rubric to grade that. And you can read a few other details here in the syllabus, and again, read the assigned reading on that. That's in the course materials for this first week, and watch the video, and then go for it. And with that assignment, you can work on it and log off and log back on. Just don't submit it until you're done. Okay? There'll also be an objective exam. These are due. I'll probably have these open up on Friday morning, and they will close, as we know, on Sundays at 11 p.m. That's true for both the objective question exam and also the essay. There'll be 25 objective questions. These will be multiple choice, possibly a few true, false, possibly a few short answers, and there'll be 25 questions worth 2 points each, and they'll be available for you, and they will cover the reading and the lecture, the video lecture. So make sure you've watched those, and there'll be some additional instructions as you log on to that, and we'll talk some more about that through those assignment pages. And then also due on Sunday evenings is an essay, and these are questions like the finding our place in the story. I'll use those for you to write your essays. And they're going to be 500 to 600 words, which sounds like a lot, but really, really isn't. Please write in good paragraph style, write with good grammar. VCamp added not just a spell checker, but a grammar checker to their to the Windows, so you use it. You will have a limited amount of time on the objective question exam and in writing your essay. So once you log on to those, the timer will start and you cannot log off of those. The class is going to be graded on total points. Those percentages on VCamp do not mean beans. You need points. And so if you look here on the syllabus, you can see the possible points on the left and then how many points you need on the right. So if you get 360 points out of the 615 possible, then you pass the class. If you get 425, you get a C. If you get 490, you get a B. If you get 550, you get an A. So now if you want to know what your grade is at this point, VCamp will probably figure that okay. But as far as the percentage grade, but we are not grading the class on percentages. We're grading the class on total points. Easy. So you're not going to have 300 points at all in the course, probably until the second or third week, because there won't be enough assignments to get you that many points. But it's not till the very end that you have to have those total points. So please realize that it's just on points. If you want to know what your grade is right now, I guess you can figure a percentage if you want to. That might give you some idea, but I'm not going to use a percentage to figure the final grade. I'm using total points. So just add them up, keep adding them up, and you'll see where you're at. And you'll see how many more points you need to get to the next grade level. All right, so everybody starts at 0, and we build up from there. So get after it. You see our academic honesty policy. My basic policy is if you cheat, you die. Now, probably not in this life, but in the next life, spiritual death is much worse than physical death. If you have some issues with disabilities, please read the syllabus and see those instructions. And then finally, on the page 4 of our syllabus, you can see basically the big picture outline. There are those 6 acts with the interlude that I mentioned to you, and there's where we are going to cover them. Basically, the first 3 weeks we're going to cover the Old Testament, and the last 2 weeks we're going to cover the New Testament. And so that's kind of how that all comes together. And we'll be picking that up with key figures and key themes at the very end. Now, your final essay is obviously going to be where you're demonstrating that you've achieved that big goal of learning the biblical narrative. So I would expect to kind of tell the story on the final exam. That'll be more than just knowing what the names of the acts are. You really need to focus on those key figures and themes that we put together as we go through there, along with this material. We'll talk some more about that in the lectures as we go forward. Like I mentioned, my plan is to have all of your assignments posted by Friday before. This is the first time that I've taught the class online. It's really the first time I've taught this class anywhere for that matter. So I'll be writing lectures and preparing assignments as the class is in session. And I am very excited about this new class. And so I'll have everything up for you. I'll try to have everything up Friday before the class, the next section starts on the Monday. I'm working now to have at least the first 2 full weeks up before the class starts at all. And as much of that third week up as possible. But then it'll be then I'll be working on that other stuff as we get a little bit further into the course. Another issue I want to make you aware of is that I am headed on a volunteer mission project June 2nd through the 12th. I know this is at the beginning of our course, and I will be working hard to, I have access to email while I'm gone. That's why it's important that you email me. I won't be able to respond to voicemail at all during those dates. Probably won't be able to respond to voicemail until probably the 14th of June. So make sure and email me, and I'll work hard to respond to those as often as possible. But please be patient if I don't respond to you as quickly as you would like. I promise I will get to you, and I'll pay attention at those key points where we can solve problems if we need to. The exciting thing is that First Baptist Church Smithville is going to have a new sanctuary and some Sunday school space. I'm going there to help them frame and roof and hopefully get them into the dry. So I would appreciate your prayers for good weather, and also to pray for me to have the strength to do a substantially more physical job than I'm used to. I'm used to sitting here at the desk, grading papers, lecturing in classes, and walking around campus and swinging a hammer and climbing a ladder and toting lumber and everything else and working out in the sun. I'm not used to that. I love it, but it'll be very physically challenging for me, and it's something that I'm not very good at, but I enjoy doing it anyway. I've gone with this group about 15 times and helped build churches all across the South. It just happens to be that we're in Smithville, Arkansas this year. But once I'm back from that, I'll be jumping both feet in and getting things going. Now, one more thing I want to say. The first week, just to kind of get us going and easing into it, we will have a quiz the first week. And you'll need to read up on doing the inductive Bible study, and you'll need to do all of your reading assignments in the textbooks. But we will not have an objective exam or an essay exam due that week. We will do that. We'll have our first exam at the end of the second week, and it will cover both of those. It will cover both of those weeks. That way, that'll give you a little bit of time to kind of get things rolling. So the only assignment that you absolutely have to do the first week and submit is that first quiz, because I want to get you reading and get you going, and that quiz will be due. It'll be due on the Friday evening, just like we talked about. I might fudge on that a little bit, but it due Sunday night. But the rest of the quizzes will be due on Friday night at 11 p.m. can't think of anything else to tell you right now. I'm already praying for you, and I hope you'll do well. I'm looking forward to getting this all put together, and I'm getting forward to seeing your work and see how you guys do. So God bless and Godspeed as you take this course, and I hope we all learn a lot about the biblical story. And with that, I'll say, may the peace of Christ be with you all.